Good morning, Mañana no Mas community. My name is Kurt Von On, and I'm your host of the Mañana no Mas morning check-in. And I'm a little bit on the late side today getting in. I usually like to do this around 9:30. It's almost 10 o'clock. I just got off a really good video call with the Giver Marketing Network. And man, I really, let me turn that off there. There we go. I really enjoyed my time with Tim, Stacy, Michael, and the rest of the group. Today was a little bit different with the Giver Marketing group. They had folks from different areas of digital marketing get on and talk about, who they are, what the origin story kind of is, real quick, and then, what the specialty is. And of course, I was part of that call leading in with the Challenge Connection. The Challenge Connection is what I believe is going to be a really great platform as we begin to bring more and more people into using the connection, the Challenge Connection. I think what we're going to see is people recognizing that online challenges, as cool as they've been on their existing platforms, are going to be able to get way amped up in this platform, and people are going to be able to do things that, quite honestly, they didn't think were possible before with a standard online challenge. Organizing the content, by activity, having a leaderboard, who's the top 5, who's the top 10. You'll be able to have that kind of interactivity with people. You'll be able to have one-on-one coaching, things like that. And so when I look at what this platform has the capability to do for leaders and communicators and people building community through the challenge infrastructure, I think it's really cool that, I've got this platform that I'm launching that's going to allow people to spread that net over multiple social networks and bring them to one platform where they can't get thrown out, right? Where it's theirs, they own it, and whatever they do is up to them. And they don't have to worry about Big Brother hitting the switch and turning off their account, things like that. So I'm really stoked about it. I think it's going to be great. And pardon me, was super excited to be part of that call. The next thing I wanted to address on today's message was, these daily emails I send out where I try to add, content, try to add value to you. I sent one yesterday that was kind of a recap of the top, hey, these are the top things that we discussed over the last 2 months, right? And I didn't have one preset for today because I wanted to think about it. I was thinking, how can I send out this email message that recaps, the best messages of the year so far, right? Or at least my opinion of what the best messages of the year were so far. And then I thought, it's time to start a series to really, bring some value, add some value, right? And so I thought to myself, what are some success traits? And so I had to cheat and look at the other screen there real quick, but I called it success traits. So what are the traits of people that experience success? And basically what I've got will be a series. And I'm looking at this and I'm thinking this could be a week, this could be a 2-week series of successful traits. And sometimes it seems like I beat this drum too hard. Sometimes it seems like maybe I just get, pushy on this whole idea of be a leader, be who I know you can be who you know you can be. And sometimes I sound a little rah, right? Like I sound like a TV commercial, something like, be all that you can be. But I really believe it. There's so much potential locked in all of us, and it's hidden away for all kinds of weird reasons. I start to talk to people, I coach people, and I find out, like in my personal case, I had, an official that worked at my high school that flat out looked me dead in the eye. And he goes, kid like you ain't never going to amount to anything in this world. And when you hear something from a third party that just cuts into you like that, you sometimes go out of your way to make it true, which is what I did for years. I couldn't seem to put things together. I just couldn't. It was like I had these little sparks of creativity or sparks of brilliance or a really good work ethic. But I, through a lack of communication or a lack of leadership in my different jobs, I was like never able to just, find some kind of synergy that made me find that success, right? What are those traits? And so I thought it would be interesting to put out a series of success traits. So the first email is going to go out today, and it's going out later than usual, but that's because, like I said, I really wanted to put some thought into it and make sure I was putting out something that I thought would add value to the people that are still plugging in. So how can you plug in? Okay. Here it is. Go to mañananomas.com, click on Academy. It's right at the top center of the top menu there, Academy. When that opens up, there's going to be a form in the middle of that landing page, and it's going to say join the newsletter list. Go ahead and put your information in there, and you'll get added to the list that gets these daily emails that goes out. You don't have to read every one of them, but it's interesting. I had one on raising kids. This one's going to be on success traits. Had different pieces on leadership, a couple pieces on fitness, a couple pieces on journaling. Right? I really liked the section on journaling. To me, that really popped off the page. I adopted a journaling method just within the last year, and in fact, let me reach down and grab it here. It's right here. It's the 5-minute journal. Right? Dan Martell from the SAS Academy sent this to me. And I like to give credit where credit is due. I had some dirt on it. Let me try it again. There we go. It's cleaner. Got a little dirt on it right there too. All right. But Dan Martell from the SAS Academy sent this as one of my onboarding books. And as I go in here and I, look at my journaling for the days, I like this journal because it's simple. I don't have to rewrite the world, right? But it'll say, I'm grateful for 3 things. What would make today great? 3 things. A daily affirmation, right? Today I am. What are you? You a go-getter? You a dad, a mom? Are you an educator? But today I am, right? And then 3 amazing things that happened today, because at the end of the day, you kind of recap your journal. So what are 3 amazing things that happened today? And how could I have made today even better? And, I'll just be personal. Let's do this. November 16th, 2020. I said, I'm grateful for internet knowledge. I'm grateful for interviews with Alphabet. At the time, I was interviewing with Waymo to be part of their autonomous car division. And I said, I was grateful for God's love. I'd come up on, that's November, right? So 10 months of unemployment and all my bills were still paid and I had active job interviews, right? I really felt like God was providing for me. So I said, I was thankful for God's love. I said, what would make today great? Killing the interview and getting some options, right? The Power Sport Roundtable would be liked, right? We ran the Power Sports Roundtable December 9th. So by November 16th, I had been working to put together a qualified team of people, 5 people, to be on this 5-hour webinar that I'd put together called the Power Sports Roundtable. And so I said, what would make today great? The Power Sports Roundtable is liked, right? Headway on the Challenge Connection. I was developing the Challenge Connection, right? Now it's launched. So, when I look at these things, when I can go back and go, wow, look at this. This is really happening. Right. Daily affirmations. I put, daily affirmation. I'm good on the web and the phone. Right. I had to have interviews on the phone and then follow-up interviews on Zoom, and, being able to work between their Google Meet and their Zoom and their Skype and their GoToMeeting and all that stuff. I wasn't nervous or put aside. Right. So I remember thinking to myself, I'm really good on the web and the phone. I can do this. So at the end of the day, 3 amazing things that happened. Well, I put here that Joe M liked the site. So the Power Sport Roundtable was also a website that I launched to advertise for the upcoming event that was December 9th. And I shared it with other people on the team. So Joe Marcoux liked the site. He said he liked it. Right. So I was happy with that. Number 2, I killed the Waymo interview. I did. I knocked it out of the park. That crap was awesome. That was the day that I recorded the podcast with Patrick. If you have not followed the Mañana No Mas podcast, then you need to go look at the Mañana No Mas podcast, and you'll see all these different interviews that I've done with people. Stacy Rasky, Andrew Oakes, Patrick here, Patrick LaRouge, I believe is how you say his last name. But I've got a series of people that I've talked to. Kevin Cope was one of my podcast interviews, and I love talking to people like that. I mean, a published author, right? It was awesome. And I said, how could I have made today even better? So I looked at all the things I accomplished that day, and I thought, that's work, that's work, that's work, that's work, right? And for an unemployed guy, that's a lot of work. And so I realized that maybe I hadn't connected with my spouse good enough. And so I put, how could I have made today even better? I could have had a better connection with Heidi. Right. So it helps me to refocus on not only what's urgent, but what's important. Right. And so when you dive into these journaling type tasks, these are the things that you can look back on. You can go, okay, this is where my head was. This is what I did. This is how it's going, and as I jump into today, I'll be able to move even more forward. Right. So again, I have no idea what part of this content is going to jump off to the page with you, but here's the deal. If you sign up on the list, you'll get the email every day. You can read the header and you can decide if you want to read the content or not, but I'll supply the content. You just supply this little bit of attention to see if there's value in it for you or not. And then when something jumps off the page at you and you love it, do me a favor, just pop me an email and say, hey, this is the one for me, or this message today hit home. And then those little affirmations I get from people in the community let me know that, okay, that was a good one. As I'm looking through more of my content that I want to share with you, it says, okay, well, I've had a good track record with this, or I've had a good track record with that, right? Because I want to make sure not only that I'm sharing what I want to share, but I'm sharing what you want me to share. So super important. So that's how you can jump in. This Mañana No Mas community is growing. I'm thrilled that people are jumping in and starting to understand what it's really about. Am I out to make money and provide for my family? Absolutely. Am I beating you over the head with a club and telling you to buy from me today? Absolutely not. I want to add as much value as possible to as many people as possible. And then the people that are in the perfect space that can qualify to become a client of the Mañana No Mas, engine, those people I can't wait to bring on board. Working with a couple of companies right now, looking at some training content, looking at some web products, looking at things like that. And when those contracts come together, that's what floats the boat, right? And then it gives me the opportunity to share this other value-added stuff with you. So folks, have yourself a great, winning, lovely day. And I will talk to you very, very soon. I say all the time, it's true. It's true. It's absolutely